voices of Salem, they whisper in code. Ironwood cracking, he's losing the load. Finals uprising, the chains get erased. Keep moving forward, no fear in the chase. Darkness approaches, the heroes ignite. Shade out the light, we were born for the fight. Venom, I'm spitting, is deadly, it's raw. This is my way, I'm rewriting the law. Get out the cage, let the monster inside. Hero or villain,
Okay, you beautiful friends, welcome back to the back of the semi-truck, or by some chance this is your first time here, then welcome to the back of the semi-truck for the first time. Nonetheless, here we are. We're about to be talking about this video here that is going over Season 10, Episode 3 of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. No, it is not in video format, it is in comic book format, but the way we're going through it is in a video format. But, you know, most of y'all have already been around here anyway to know how things go. I'm going to push play on this video. They're going to give us, you know, what happens in it and all that good stuff. So, where we last left off with them, Zecora and Applejack and the rest of them, they were at Zecora's home village. The village was attacked, and now the group with Applejack and Zecora, which is, what are they? Applejack, Zecora, oh my gosh, I can't believe I just forgot her name. Fizzlepop Berry Twist, how I remember that name rather than her actual name in the movie, I can't remember. Then Rockhoof, and I thought there was one more, but I can't remember. Either way, though, that group is going off with, Zecora's village's group of old friends before she left the village, and now they're going to go off and go find the thing that attacked her village. So, horrible summary, but we're just going to get a summary right here at the beginning anyway, probably, judging by how this guy's last video went. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah, I think I know something that's going to happen in this issue or the next issue, because one of the zebras, not zebra, I think it was a Kelpie. One of the Kelpies told us that if they are not around water, if they get away from water for too long, then they might dry up and die. They're going to run into an issue with water because they're going to the desert. Let's find out what happens and jump into this. 3, 2, 1, and play.
Last time. Zecora, what's wrong? Since I was a filly, all I've wanted is to learn magic. But when I shared this interest with my friends, they found it silly. Since then, my life here has been tragic. But it's been years. I'm sure it's worth another shot. Besides, I'm not going to be the one to tell Twilight we failed the first mission. Zecora.
Balls really fast. When you know, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all are familiar with the one that is going through this comic dub. But fair warning, the recap is not the actual comic, or it's not the actual words of the comic, but he's kind of emphasizing a few things and putting it into his own words and kind of making it a little funny. So fair warning on that. The beginning is not the actual comic, but the rest will be. So let's continue.
I'm glad you came back. Why? So you can stab me in it? That wasn't my... With such a weak apology, you should probably just quit. Apology? You are the one who left. The roots long returns. Finally, this is what I live for. Tempest Shadow, if you would please. I would like to show my progress to those who tease. Fine, whatever. But I call the next one. I may not be able to cast spells, but I can burn you in the fires of hell. Water Nation? I'm sorry I was late. Zabrat is in your debt. Howdy, I'm Applejack. Y'all don't gotta worry about some debts. That's actually why we're here, to help Ferocity in any way we can, long as you're willing to return the favor to Equestria someday. Hey, Zecora, that was pretty cool. And now our story continues. Our heroes pass into the endless...
Balls real fast. I tried to pause it, but of course I'm always messing up that button. Nonetheless, though, I think, if I'm not wrong, I don't think Shining Armor classified as a prince? Is he also referred to as Prince Shining Armor? Because if I'm not, I might be wrong, but I feel like the prince that we saw in the last issue / episode, I feel like he was the first mention that I know of any sort of prince. We've got princesses galore, but we don't have a prince necessarily. And I think that was, who was that? Prince, not Rutherford. I can't remember the name of the prince, but he's a prince. So I feel like that's the first prince in the whole series. I don't know. Let's continue. And hold on, let me read this first. Our heroes pass into the endless, vast desert of infinity. Cool. Remember to pick up milk, heart mom, and I'm not going to read that, so let's go. Play.
Vast desert of infinity. All you see is sand before and behind you in every direction. In fact, you're not even sure what direction you came from. The party is lost in the desert. How do you proceed? Marini, the loyal knight, decides to give her friends a speech to inspire them. The magical Crystalina tries to convince everybody to just go home. Maybe I can use magic to zap us out. But we have a quest. Those trolls need our help. Says Greenie the druid. Yo, Calendria Darkshadow uses their speed and thieving skills to take stuff from everybody. Why? To give to the less fortunate street urchins? Calendria Darkshadow never steals for themselves. And, sorry, what was your character's name? It's like Brooke the Barbarian. But that's your real name. And I like my real name.
Boss. Okay. Look, I like that Kelpie. She's just awesome. But nonetheless, I see where we're going with, so far, the beginning of this issue is we're doing a flashback to them playing a Dungeons and Dragons type of game. And I feel like this is going to be our introduction to the desert area, because our game master, which is Zecora, is saying that they are entering into the vast desert of infinity, and they have sand all around them and don't know which direction, blah, blah, blah. Y'all heard what the story was so far. And I think this is where we're going to get a lot of foreshadowing for the rest of this issue when we get back to present day and see that they're probably going to encounter some of the same stuff as with this game that they're playing in the past. I don't know, that's just me speculating a little bit and just kind of just wondering about whether or not it's what's going to happen. I don't know, my mind isn't, I don't know, my mind feels a little tonight, so let's continue this.
Okay, again, you're in the middle of the desert and lost. What do you all do? I say everyone follows me. Marini has a great sense of direction. Then how'd we get lost in the desert in the first place? Like I say, we fight to the last horse. Weapons at the ready. Dust Devil, what do you want to do?
Oh, Calendria Darkshadow will go wherever everybody else.
I thirst for water! And like, blood? That's like what the rest of you guys are made out of, right? Die! Get your hook out of my eye! Stop splashing! I'm gonna knock your stripes off! We'd never make it through a real desert. Hey kid, what's on your mind?
I recall...
Balls. Here we are now in the present day as well, with Zecora's last words before us returning to the present day being, we'd never make it through a real desert, with them proceeding into a real desert. So, okay, I'm obviously going to be wrong with what I was speculating on, but they are going through a real desert, and it's hard to speculate from here as to what's going to happen, because that little flashback literally gave us hardly anything whatsoever. So I do hope through all this that we're going to get Zecora and her one friend actually making an amends. I don't know if it's going to happen with this issue that we're going over or the next issue, because I have a feeling that, well, I don't have a feeling, I know, because I literally just went through all my, comic books for My Little Pony at the house. Literally just went through them, scanned them all in. I'm trying to organize some stuff at the house on the weekends. I went through them, and I know this issue, and then we got issue 92, and it's a 4-part story. So, essentially, 4 episodes worth, slash, I don't feel like a comic book is an episode length type of story, but pretty much a 4-issue story. And I'm presuming by the end of that, Zecora and her other zebra friend there are going to make an amends and be good friends again. So hopefully, I'm hoping for this issue that'll happen, but I doubt it. But I know Zecora's recalling her little Desert of Infinity, game that they were playing.
For another adventure the 5 of us took on together in an imagined sandy sea, the Desert of Infinity. You remember? I was just thinking about it myself. I remember that I tried to convince them to follow me, but all anybody did was argue, until you got fed up and told us we all died of heat stroke. Hopefully at this quest's end, there will lie a different fate, my... Oh, come on now, kid. I know how much you hate not rhyming. You gotta say it, my friend. See, that wasn't so hard. Marini, I have spent so much time in anger. Calling you a friend feels like a danger. But it has only been 2 days, and we are back to our old ways. If I can put our past aside, can you forgive me for my pride? I never wished to tear us apart, but I had to follow my heart. You know, I got to be honest. Honesty you never lack. You share that with Applejack. Yeah, not sure I ever got the hang of lying, and I get my feelings hurt easy when friends abandon me, but I'm glad to have you back.
What in tarnation? Fearless leader Applejack.
Okay, yes, I'm pausing again already, but I guess there's our closure. I didn't actually expect it to happen within the next minute, but that seems like closure to me. And with Zecora saying my friend and then giving that little bit of a monologue of, hey, I'm sorry, I want to make amends, can you forgive me, for what I did, and then she's kind of like, hey, it kind of does hurt my feelings when my friends abandon me, but they're like, hey, I'm glad you're back, they're pretty much tight-knit again like this and glued together. So I do wonder, I got more questions then, since now the friendship is amended. Is Zecora going to stay in her village or go back with Applejack? That's now the question that I have going forward from here, instead of when are we going to make amends. So let's continue. I'm going to try to have this whole video recorded and done within a 30-minute time frame. Don't hold me to it, because we all know how I can talk, and we are only 4 minutes into what is a 15-minute video. So let's try.
I know this is a foreign land, and that I am from a distant time. But given my expertise in the ways of the digging and such, I would wager, I guess, that this is a hole, and a large one at that. Thank you for that analysis, Rockhoof. No pony mentioned there was going to be a gulch across. I don't reckon I got a way to get us over there. Marini, got any suggestions?
Well, I don't see anything simple. Roz, do you think any of your friends here could tell us if there's a way around? Oh, certainly. Cactus roots spread out great distances, and they do like to gossip. Just a moment. What exactly am I watching here, Brooke? Oh, so Cactus Rose has a special gift when it comes to plants. We only have a few types out here, so she's gotten very good with them. You're telling me that she's...
Pause before I take this drink. I seen what our creator, our comic dubber, did with that one cactus over there. I see you being sneaky. And if y'all didn't catch it, which I'm presuming not everybody did, but my eyes went to the one cactus that he was outlining like this, and I know I'm down here in the bottom corner or the top corner of the left-hand side of the video, but I'm going to, as opposed to me usually just stopping it on the frame that I'm on, I'm going to have it on the frame that I saw earlier where he outlined what he outlined, and yeah, I probably would have saw the plant and was thinking it was that shape as well, so I see what you're doing there. I want to make comments, but at the same time, I'm going to continue to stay family friendly. Let's continue and
Was talking to that cactus. Yes, indeedy. She's friends with, like, all of the plants around here. Nope, not buying it. It seems if we keep walking north, there's one bridge that goes across. Thanks, Roz.
Welp, let's get going then.
So, we're all just gonna pretend like those plants can talk? We're just gonna go along with this and risk getting stuck in the desert? I think I'd like you. We should be friends. Yeah, I'm not really that into the whole friends thing.
Perfect. We should be pen pals that never write to each other, but could if we wanted to.
I wouldn't hate that.
Dust Devil, where did this chasm come from, do you know?
Oh, well, legend has it that this used to be a great and fertile valley, and that this was a river.
That was thousands of years ago, though. Now this land's just dangerous. You don't say. Halt! Passage across this bridge is closed!
Well, looks like we, found the bridge. Sure. Now it's just a matter of frying the chicken, trying to keep us from crossing. I don't like to gush, but I really love the energy you're bringing to.
pause. Tempest Shadow, which is the name that I should have known because she was one of the best parts of the movie. Holy crap. But Tempest Shadow and that Kelpies relationship, already love it. I want more of it. They're like Maud and Trixie for me. I don't know what it is about their relationship, but I absolutely love it and I want to see more of it. The fact that they were saying, I want to be pen pals, but not write each other, but know that we could if we wanted to. And that sounds like an awesome friendship. And in fact, I've actually got that kind of friendship. My best friend growing up, we've grown up. We're not here, we don't talk on a daily basis no more, stuff like that. Yes, we used to talk on a daily basis. But as we grew older, we got our own families and stuff like that. And we don't hate each other or nothing. We just got our own lives and we just don't talk anymore, unfortunately. But we do know that we are there for each other in a moment's notice at any time. So, yeah, geez, that makes me want to call him, but at the same time, I know he's leading a busy life just like me. So, yeah, holy crap. They got a great relationship, though. I don't even know how I went to this direction that I went with that statement that I started, but like the relationship. Let's continue. Play. Darn it, I messed that button up, but that's what I get when I'm recording and watching videos off of a tablet. So, cartoons, they teach us second chances. Let's try that a second time. And
Wait, don't hurt her. Rats. Have you ever thought about talking first? No.
Then if you'll excuse me.
Hello, miss. Why are you blocking the bridge?
That is no concern of yours, little Obana. I am a mighty rock, and I will do as I please.
Sure, you can. But maybe we could help each other. I bet you didn't choose to be way out here in the desert all by yourself.
Well, that is to say, do you really think you could help?
I'll give it everything I've got.
Okay, here's the thing. I landed out here looking for food, but the air currents weren't strong enough to lift me back up. I can't fly home to my family, so I decided to be a dick and stop letting others through as well.
Why am I...
pause. Did I hear him correctly? It's... I can't fly home to my family, so I stopped letting others get through as well. Okay, so I did hear him correctly. He added a couple words there. I thought I heard him when he said, so I decided to be a dick and stop letting others get through as well. I knew I heard him correctly. Okay, so just like with the little free-flowing watery Kelpie and making her sound like a little valley girl, he's also adding words to a couple other people I'm noticing now, because with the Kelpie girl, he adds words like, well, the word like, like as if and stuff like that, stuff that a valley girl would say. So he adds a couple words like that to her to make her character seem a little more ditzy. But this guy here, yeah, he's adding those kind of words to make him seem like a little bit of a prick. So, and then we got Tempest Shadow over there. I kind of like this, screenshot here, because we got this stone bird, which is an interesting concept considering air currents as well, because how are you going to have enough wind to lift up a stone bird, but then we got Applejack staring and giving Tempest a side eye, with Tempest just going, oh my gosh, why am I even freaking here? So, great screenshot right here. Love it. Let's continue.
Even here? Well, you are in luck, new friend. If you let my friends cross the bridge, I know I can get you airborne. If I get you some heights, do you think you could ride the higher air currents home?
I bet I could. What do we do?
On your mark, get set, go!
I don't know about this.
Trust me, it'll work.
Golly, they're quick. Can they really do it?
If indeed it can be done, Dust Devil would be the one. And they got even faster since last time you saw them run.
There's some wind, but I'm too heavy. It's hopeless.
Hopeless? Nothing's hopeless.
You're doing it. It's picking me up.
That damn fool's gonna hurt himself. Crystal, what are you? Stay back. I got this.
Dust Devil, help! I'm high enough to catch the wind, but I can't get out of the funnel.
Listen closely. I'm gonna stop all at once, and as soon as I do, you gotta catch that wind, okay?
But if you stop all at once, won't that shatter your tiny little legs?
Don't worry about me. Just catch that wind in 3, 2, 1!
Oh, thanks, Crystal. How'd you know I need that?
Because you always rush out to help others without thinking about what's gonna happen to yourself. You kind-hearted idiot.
Dust Devil! You did it! You helped me take off!
Balls. Okay, so Dust Devil and the one that I can't ever catch the name of are obviously ones to ship. Because, holy crap, them two in that moment have got that chemistry to where they are just like, for the lack of a better term, birds of a feather, who just seem to click together. So, definitely a ship between them two, and I'm honestly kind of shipping Tempest Shadow and Rockhoof as well. Rockhoof hasn't been in this issue that much. I think he's had a couple lines, but I seen the way they were interacting as well. So I'm liking this. I'm liking this issue as well, because there ain't much happening, but there's a lot of dialogue. And that's really progressing us along quite a bit, especially with Zecora and her little friend making amends. And obviously, by the end of this issue, they're going to be all squared away and all that good stuff. And then we're going to get to the little creature that came and attacked her village and stuff like that. And then at the end of the next issue, I get to finally get my question answered, saying, is she going to stay in her village? I don't know. But for me, I'm kind of classifying all of these issues as canon to the actual show itself, due to the fact that they got it labeled as Season 10. So, this is canon to the show for me. Let's continue. And
off!
I just gave you a boost.
Thank you.
So, It feels good to help others instead of just fighting, doesn't it? Don't try to teach me things, or next time, the loop will have icicles.
That was really
Yay,
something.
Dusty.
A legendary
Yay,
feat to be sure.
Crystal. You know how it is. Somebody's gotta keep the goody goods from hurting themselves. You don't have to explain loyalty to me. Every pony in Equestria is always seconds away from giving every monster everything it wants. So, we can still be pen pals? Long as you don't want to share hidden feelings and secrets with me. Ew, that sounds gross.
Gosh, Marini, we've been at this for hours. Any idea how much longer we've got?
I've never been there, but if Prince of Praxis's directions are correct, it shouldn't be much farther.
Never thought I'd say it, but I'd love to see something I couldn't. Oh, dig for a bit. A lake or a river would be welcome sights.
You said it, but it's gotta be worse for those of us who are made of water, right, Medley Brook? I don't know. We can last, pretty long out here, as long as we don't, totally expend a lot of—
Crystal!
What's the matter with her? I'm fine. I just used more ice than I should have back there. No biggie. Wait. You used your ice to save me, and now you're hurt? I'm not hurt. I'm just dry, okay? I'll be... dying. Disgusting. Oh my god, she's totally getting splashy. I've got to give her some of my water before she can't hold together. Hang on now. Brooke, you need all of your water too. I'll give her my drinking water. Rose, that's generous, but I have a better idea. Maybe you could ask some of your friends to lend some water.
Balls. Okay. So, yeah, I just saw, them say, I think it's Marini, or however you pronounce her name, say to the one, I don't know what species of, whatever kind of zebra pony, maybe they're a hybrid for all I know, but the other pony-esque type creature, say hey to your friends, because I was about to pause it and say, hey, there's cactus right here, there's a lot of water in cactus, so maybe y'all can find a way to cut it open and just kind of give it to old girl there who's about to just kind of die. I mean, but yes, they are about to say, hey, get your friends to help, as in the plants that are behind us. And then old girl here is about to say, ooh, cacti store a lot of water. I bet they'd be happy to help. So, yeah, obviously, now we got our solution to this. So, let's continue. And blah.
Oh, cacti store a lot of water. I bet they'd be happy to help.
Boy, that's never gonna seem normal to me. At least with Fluttershy, the animals make sounds back.
We should get her to come talk to your farm. Imagine if your plants could tell you what they needed.
Gosh, I hadn't even thought of.
They're happy to help, but I told them I wanted to repay them somehow. What do cactuses want? The cacti asked for a song. Out here in the desert, they don't get many. My time has come. No. When you're feeling sad and blue, there is just one thing to do. You gotta lift your heavy head up to the sky. Things may not be easy, but you can't sing with your mouth shut. You gotta use your voice and let your feelings fly. You gotta talk to your friends. Share a thought with your friends. 'Cause friends help friends right to the bitter end. Take it away, Marini. I told my dog to stay, then that doggy ran away. I looked everywhere, but couldn't find that pup.
Hold on. The fact that this dubber has music to go along with the song that they're singing in a comic book, mind you, because in the comic book we have no music or anything to go by, but yet he's found music to fit the words to the song. Good job to them. That's all I know to say there. So, let's continue because I've almost been recording for 30 minutes and I wanted to have that be the cutoff time, but gotta finish what we started. So let's continue. And honestly, 11, 12, 13, 14, we only got 3 minutes left. So let me try not to stop 5 times in these 3 minutes and play.
I asked Brooke for help. She heard him make a yelp. We worked together and did we find him? Yup. Talk to your friends. Share thoughts with friends. 'Cause friends help friends. Right to the bitter end.
Go Zecora!
My friends, we had an argument and to another land I then went. I didn't see those friends of mine for years. But finally, when I returned, so many lessons I now learned. I miss so many.
I think I might have found the thumbnail.
Marini, everybody, I am so sorry. I shouldn't have left like I did.
Hey, it's not your fault. We were all kids and we all messed up. But we have a chance to do better now. I'm sorry I bullied you. I was just worried about my friends.
And what should you have done?
You gotta talk to your...
Pause. Hold on. Oh my gosh. There is a lot of crazy things that happen in the My Little Pony comic books. But the last thing I was expecting to see is this. We got an album cover, essentially, and we've got not pony, but zebra and kelpie versions of Kiss. And if you don't know who Kiss is, hopefully... I'm horrible with remembering to do stuff sometimes. Hopefully I'll remember. But y'all see that picture there? Now y'all see a picture of Kiss on the screen. And as awesome as that is, I just bewildered right now as to what I'm seeing. Holy crap. And on top of that, it looks, you know what? I don't know if, I said earlier, I think I found my screenshot, but maybe this is my screenshot. I don't know. I need to continue though. Let's go. Play.
Friends.
Talk to friends.
Share thoughts with friends. 'Cause friends help friends right to the bitter end. Oh, yeah.
Hell yeah, that was like so much freaking fun.
I knew the rhyming would lead to this.
I missed you, kid. Marini, friend, I'll tell you true. Every day I missed you too.
Well, I'm glad we got that all sorted out now. But I don't suppose that was part of the musical number, was it?
The root's long.
Everybody, run! Up ahead, everyone! Look! There it is, the temple!
Blessed sight, there you are. But it still may be too far. The monster gains, friend Applejack. We need a way to drive it back. That's what we're here for, ain't it, Rocky?
Aye, 'tis. Lead the others on, Applejack. We shall buy you time to discover the temple's secrets. Are you sure?
Aye.
As the lady says. Everybody in the temple, on the...
Balls. Telling y'all. I'm shipping Rockhoof and Tempest Shadow there. They like each other. It's like...
A double! Whoa, look out.
Dust Devil, what are you? What this seems, it cannot be. Applejack, do you see?
I see it, but I ain't sure I believe it. How is the Tree of Harmony here?
Until next time.
So there we go. We are landing on a cliffhanger of an ending there. So, Tree of Harmony. Now, I didn't see much color to it, so maybe it's petrified and it's stone. I'm not 100% sure. And I do remember, thanks to me being on this screen right here, I don't know how well y'all can see that, but I do remember that cover that I'm seeing. And Tempest Shadow, that's the cover I have for my issue at the house, because they do have multiple covers for these comic books. But that's the cover I got at the house. Heck, I might even have the cover B as well. Warning, there is singing in this comic. How there was music that just happens to fit it. Don't know how he did it, but way to go to the creator of that. But the Tree of Harmony, maybe it's petrified and somehow it got there. Not sure. Maybe there's multiple trees of harmony, which doesn't make a bit of sense. So, I don't know. It's a bit of a cliffhanger. So, that is pretty friggin' awesome that I got something to look forward to find out more information and more lore about the Tree of Harmony, as opposed to it's just gone now. So the Tree of Harmony, it seems to be back for this moment. I don't know. But overall, this issue was very good, and we've got closure on the friendship. It's good to go now. They love each other again. They're not worried about, all the bad blood they had between each other and all that stuff. And we got a little interaction between Tempest Shadow and that one Kelpie who's a bit of a jerk, but you know that she's also kind-hearted as well. I wish I was better with names. I'm sorry that I'm not, but until I see a name and continuously see it and continuously hear it, it doesn't click in my head until I hear it multiple upon multiple times. But the one Kelpie, I love her and Tempest relationship, and I feel so horrible that I forgot Tempest's name at the beginning of this. But I did remember her real name, Fizzle Pop Berry Twist. But yeah, their relationship is awesome. And on top of that, there was a little tidbit of why I ship Tempest with Rockhoof. It's not a normal ship, but I'm shipping it. So, hopefully that clap wasn't too loud. It felt like it echoed a little bit, but you know what? That's just me being my normal brain, how it works. Plus, it's the end of the night, so I need to shut up. I don't have nothing else to add, so passing it off to y'all, because I don't know what else to say about this other than it was a good issue. Good episode, good issue, whatever you want to call it. So, with that said, y'all know the drill by now if you've been around long enough. If you ever made it to the end, you know what I'm saying. Hit that like, tickle to subscribe, don't be texting and driving, watch what you love and love what you watch, and take it away, Mr. Rogers.
I like you just the way you are.